up, Globetars? All right, it is Friday, July 12th. Let's find some science news to debunk. Let's go to ScienceDaily.com, see what they got going on. So we have July 12th, insight into one of life's earliest ancestors revealed in a new study. It doesn't matter how many studies they make or how many studies they claim they have, they don't have actual evidence or proof of anything of ancient prehistory. And the reason why is because, and I've already explained this, you'll see that the Bible itself is used as a historical reference, and then they cross-reference that against ancient Greek and then ancient Hebrew, and then that's how they come up. That's how they end up agreeing if something is historically true or not. So it's basically based off the faith of three different groups. So that's one of the problems wrong with history and science, and I've already explained it over on the YouTube video that I made about the Bible is science, because science came from the Bible. July 11, 2024, dark matter in dwarf galaxy tracked using stellar motions. Let's check that one out. So this is from the sources NASA Goddard Space Flight Center. Summary: the qualities and behavior of dark matter, the invisible glue of the universe, continue to be shrouded in mystery. Though galaxies are mostly made of dark matter, understanding how it is distributed within a galaxy offers clues to what this substance is and how it's relevant to a galaxy's evolution. Okay, so, I mean, there is no evidence of dark matter at all for them to claim that it's the glue of the universe. I mean, there's more evidence of the ether than there is of dark matter. All right, Globetards, that's a fact. Okay. While computer simulations suggest dark matter should pile up in a galaxy's center called a density cusp, many previous telescopic observations have indicated that it is instead more evenly dispersed throughout a galaxy. Now, I want to see a picture of this evenly distributed dark matter. Oh, that's right, there is none of that. There is no such thing as a photograph of that. Let's go over it again. It says, while computer simulations suggest dark matter should pile up in a galaxy center, many previous telescopic observations have indicated. So there's indications, is what they're saying. They're not saying they've seen it. You guys have to see. That's the problem with a lot of the Globetars. They'll read this, and they'll read it without any skepticism whatsoever. And that's not how science works. Science is not about faith. Science is not about, oh, you're gonna put hope or you're gonna put belief into something. Okay, and this article, as of now, we've already seen that simulations are suggesting, and they're trying to put something there. It's suggestive. Like it's trying to put something in your head, like, let me suggest this, okay? And then they say that indications, telescopic observations are indicators. There's actually no way they could know what they're looking at, because they've never been up there, up close to any celestial heavenly body. They haven't been up there. They don't know what a spiral galaxy is. They don't know how big it is, how small it is. They don't know if we're actually looking at something that's big or something that's small. They don't know. That's how ridiculous all of this is. So a team of astronomers has turned towards NASA's Hubble Space Telescope to try and clarify this debate by measuring the dynamic motions of stars within the Draco Dwarf Galaxy, a system located roughly 250,000 light years from Earth. Light years, no human has ever traveled a light year. They don't even know if light actually travels. For when here on Earth you shine light, and I mean it supposedly slows down through water, but then when it comes out of the water, it speeds up. So there is no, not to mention there isn't there is that's just what we're observing as it's going. We have never like a measured light going and coming. If you guys understand that, I want you guys to look that up. All right, because light has not been proven to travel. That's hilarious. They haven't seen it go and come back. All right. Using observations that spanned 18 years, they succeeded in building the most accurate three-dimensional understanding of stars' movements within the diminutive galaxy. This required scouring nearly 2 decades of Hubble archival observations of the Draco galaxy. Our models tend to agree more with a cusp-like structure which aligns with cosmological models, said Eduardo Vitral of the Space Telescope Science Institute in Baltimore and lead author of the study. Now, another thing to keep in mind when you read something that says, like up here, it says a team of astronomers. Normally, when they're saying a team of astronomers, the majority of those are Jesuits. They're not only Jesuits; they're Catholics. They're high-ranking Catholics, not necessarily Jesuits, but the majority of them are high-ranking Catholics. NASA themselves, they're led by high-ranking Catholics. They are totally tied to the Wheeling Institute. That's a Jesuit university. I could go on and on how NASA is actually tied to the Catholic Church through the Jesuits. So going back down, while we cannot definitively say all galaxies contain a cusp-like dark matter distribution, see what they just said right there? While we cannot definitively say all galaxies contain a cusp-like dark matter distribution, it's exciting to have such well-measured data that surpasses anything we've had before. Charting the movements of the stars. So, I mean, honestly, to me, that just sounds like, and again, they're being suggestive, is that I'm supposed to be excited. And I've explained to everyone that, you know, there's different astronomy. There's theoretical astronomy, and then there's observational astronomy. Observational astronomy, you just look up and you record, and that's it. You don't make up stories. Theoretical astronomy is the ones that, you know, they'll start making up this dark matter, dark energy, and then they'll try to give you an apocalyptic ending all the time. I mean, typical of the Catholic, you know, of Catholic nature, of Catholic indoctrination. There's a beginning and an end to everything. That's exactly what, you know, what they teach, no matter what. And so, you know, this being so, the word universe, that's one verse, that's universe, and universal. Okay, the word Catholic, I've explained it over and over. It's defined as universal. So when you say the Catholic Church, what you're saying is the universal church, and that's why the Catholic Church has a bunch of different beliefs that have been assimilated and combined into this one large universal church. You know, they grab different religions and they put them in. Especially during the Inquisition, they would go into, you know, tribal areas, and they would force that tribe to become Catholic, to the point where they're like, okay, we'll let you worship this and we'll let you worship that, but you got to switch it up around. You got to call this goddess a saint, like in Mexico you have the Saint Mary de Guadalupe. She's not really a saint. That's actually an Aztec goddess. I've explained that over and over and over, and I've proven proof. I posted much proof of that. So charting the movement of the stars. Again, if you're looking up and you're like worshiping the heavens and you're worshiping celestial lights, it's one thing, you know what I mean? And I've explained it again over. It's one thing that you go out and you look up into the, you know, at the stars because you're a farmer, or you're a navigator. You know what I mean? These things I could understand. But if you're like sitting, you know, if you're like sitting in a box, and then you're online in that box telling everyone around you to look up, look up, look up at the sky, look up at the heavens, look how marvelous, look how beautiful, look how celestial, look how grand, look how, I mean, literally you're worshiping the heavens. You're like, oh, it's so beautiful. Like, let's make a rocket to go up there. And you wish that you could go up there. And let it be known that if you were to truly go up there, you'd have the same actual response that William Shatner and almost everyone else has. William Shatner was on the Star Trek, and he played that make-believe role all his life, pretty much. Okay, well, a good part of his life playing Captain Kirk, right? So once he actually got the chance to hit the edge of space, so to speak, what they say, the edge of space, but hit the Kármán line or get close to it. He said he felt so depressed. He looked upon the darkness that was in all other directions, and he was like, man, there is no way that we belong up here. He, like, literally, you guys should look that up. William Shatner had a depressing like, when he came back down from actually going up and actually having that real life experience of seeing, the edge of space, as they keep saying, as they call it, or the Kármán edge, and he like literally just, it's really sad. It's really sad. So here's what I'm saying, that, you know what I mean? Okay, I get it. You're a farmer, you're a navigator. There's a few other, you know what I mean? There's, you hunt at night. You're a warrior that attacks at night. There's only like a few reasons why you would use the celestial lights for your own existence, or your own, for your family and your career, or your well-being, or your survival. Do you guys understand that? All right. There's no reason to look up and think that it's beautiful up there. It's not. Look at the crap that they talk about. Dark matter, dark energy, black holes. It's all darkness. It's doom and gloom. You know what I mean? It's all darkness. The unknown. I mean, for fuck's sake, there's not much difference from being dead and wondering about what the heavens are made of, or wondering what the celestial lights are. It's the unknown. That's what it is. The unknown. You guys don't know what it is. The government doesn't know what. If you believe that somebody else, especially government, especially a one world government like the United Nations or UNUSA, for that matter, okay, because that's all space agencies fall under UNUSA. Okay, that's the United Nations of Outer Space Affairs. Okay, all space agencies, JAXA, NASA, ESA, they're all part of that. They're all part of the United Nations. This whole space thing came from the Nazis. That came from World War II. That came from... We all know what this is. Come on, man. You gotta be dumb not to realize that it's a religion. It's a cult. It's a way of getting people to look up and be distracted and be dumb and not know what's going on, and to just confuse the shit out of humanity. Like, I just on the last article that we passed up to get to this one was that CCC plus TL theory. That is like, that literally just it goes from Big Bang, 12 billion year old, to 27 billion. Like, it's just ridiculous. They got, like, that model. The globeheads do not have a working model. They are so confused that they're running around saying, look up at the sky, look up at the sky, and they don't know what the fuck they're looking at. So to learn about dark matter, going back to this article, charting the movement of the stars, to learn about dark matter within a galaxy, scientists can look to its stars and their movements that are dominated by the pull of dark matter. A common approach to measure the speed of objects moving in space is by the Doppler effect. An observed change of the wavelength of light if a star is approaching or receding from Earth. Again, I brought this up, the red shift, blue shift, there's purple shift, or some will say violet shift. It's basically purple shift. Okay, you have the Andromeda galaxy that's supposedly headed towards the Milky Way galaxy, which contradicts this whole everything is spreading apart from each other dark energy crap. Like, which is it? If everything is, if all these galaxies are spreading apart because of redshift, why does blue shift exist? Why can't we see blue shift? And why is the Andromeda galaxy supposedly headed straight for the Milky Way galaxy? Right? It's confusing because it doesn't make sense. It's nonsense is what it is. It's just as stupid as talking about death and knowing what death is. Look, I got really close to death. You know, they had to zap me back onto this plane of existence, all right? And what I seen was I felt turning into static. That's what I felt. Okay? I don't know how many other people have experienced that. You know, other people have experienced they have had different near-death experiences. So I can't sit here and say that I'm 100% sure, but in my experience, okay, as I woke up on the surgical table and I looked at my own abdomen, and I looked at because the reason why I woke up, it felt like someone was pulling me, like ripping a shirt off of me. Is actually what I felt. I felt like they were ripping a shirt off of me. I woke up and I found the mask on my face, but I was still able to try to sit up. As I was trying to sit up, I looked down. I looked in my abdomen. I seen all my intestines. I seen my insides outside of me. I seen the surgeons all around me trying their best to put clean my intestines out and put it all back in. And as I looked behind them, I seen myself looking at myself. And each time I actually caught eye-to-eye contact with my image behind the doctor. Before that happened, they said that the doctor said don't let him look at his own self. When they said that, I seen myself behind them, but it was not about my stomach. I was looking at my intestines. I looked at my image that was behind the surgeons, and then I switched places. I was behind the surgeons, looking at myself on the table with my intestines all out, dying. They said he's going into shock. And then I got a glimpse, eye-to-eye contact. I switched again. I was back on the table, and they were pushing my head back, and they were trying to gas me, and I was apparently fighting with them. Supposedly, or struggling to try to get up, because I was in shock supposedly. And then and again I looked at my own eyes behind, at myself, and I caught eye-to-eye contact again. I switched spots, and each time I caught eye-to-eye contact, I switched, and that started accelerating. It happened really till it started spinning, and then that's when I smelled electricity, and I was turning into static. I don't know how else to explain it. And then as I was turning into static, there was this hum, or like this, I hate to say it, but there's this there's this beautiful hum or something like that. And I felt like I was gonna become a note, and I was gonna be part of this like it's a beautiful song, and I was gonna be part of it. And then I woke up. Then I woke up in pain, like 3 days later. So I mean, I don't know. I can't say that. I can't say that I know what existence is. I don't think anyone can say that. I don't think anyone can look up at the sky and say they know what the heavens is made of. They don't know what the heavens are made of. We're all the same. We're all here just trying to witness our own experiences and then compare them with one another which actually is what we call relativity. I'm not even going to continue reading this crap. You guys can go ahead and read it. But this shit is not science, guys. It's a cult. Do you guys even science, bro?